A hearty hello to all of you. We welcome you to another exciting episode of the Flight Now webinar series. This is your host, Vaishali speaking, and in today's webinar, we'll go into further detail on two main topics. We'll start by discussing how FlightNow's plans and pricing have been redesigned and tailored to the drones you use. We now have a pricing tier specific to your drone in the inventory, whether it's an off the shelf, such as the DJI, or a custom one built using PX4 or Ardupilot. Achal, who is the Director of Business Development at FlightBase and my regular co-presenter in all the Flight Now webinars, will shed more light on this shortly. We'll also share how you could set up your remote drone operations center with the powerhouse, the DJI M300 RTK and FlightNow software platform. FlightNow has been designed with modularity in mind, enabling you to fly within the line of sight or BVLOS. Whether you are using drones for urgent missions such as emergency and disaster response, or for repetitive missions such as security patrols and industrial inspections, FlightNow supports all of it. To talk more about it, I'm joined by Vinayak Singh and Neil Sharma, two of our customer success ninjas who work directly with our clients all over the world to assist users in conducting remote drone operations. And finally, if you've been following us on social media, you've probably noticed that we've been hinting at an offer. So stay tuned till the end of the webinar for more details. Before I move on, a couple of housekeeping rules. If you have any questions during the session, please leave them at the comment section and we will address them at the end of the episode. The webinar is being recorded and we will publish it online soon, just in case your friends and colleagues were unable to attend it today. And with that, let's begin. Over to you, Achal.
Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Thanks for joining us today. Let's move to the next slide, Vaishali. So over the last few months, we've been working with a lot of partners where we have been discussing with them what are the things, features they need, what are the several plans they need, what kind of drones they're using, how big of their fleet is, are they using docking stations or are they setting up just the remote command center? So considering all that feedback, today we are giving you a deep dive in terms of the new plans which we are launching. So let's talk about these two products first. So FlightNow, as you all know, is the platform to enable remote drone operations, where you have two products. One is FlightNow Live, which allows you to bring your existing fleet with your ground operators to the cloud, so you can manage them remotely. So you could still have your pilots on the ground, but if you like to have all the control, command, live video, and share it with your entire team, now be it like a mining site or a construction progress monitoring or public safety, you can easily adopt FlightNow Live and bring your drones to the cloud. And then, of course, we have FlightNow Auto. So FlightNow Auto allows you to fully automate your drones using drone in the box systems. So today, this is the part one of the entire series where we'll be talking more deeply about FlightNow Live and how you can get started and bring your existing fleet to the cloud. And we'll be focusing majorly on drones like DJI M300, Mavic 20 Plus Advanced, etc., where you can learn more about these things in detail. And Vinayak and Neil are going to show you a demo where how you can actually enable this thing with FlightNow Live. So as I said, FlightNow Live is the entire software to get you onboarded with the remote operation centers, where you can set up a secure cloud-based remote command center, fly, monitor, manage your hybrid fleet of drones on sites, and as well as the pilots on the ground. So you have a mobile app which allows you to connect your drone to the cloud and acts as a bridge, as well as a dashboard for the ground pilot. On the other hand, you have multiple dashboard inside FlightNow, where you can see the entire cockpit view, the drone video feed, the telemetry dashboard. You can see video feed from multiple cameras, go into multicam video feed. You can integrate alarms in the enterprise version and get all those details. You also have the admin dashboard where you can see all that details in one place. Plus, you could have integrations like weather data or flight radar in the FlytNow Live Enterprise version. So let's move on and take a quick look at what are the new pricing tiers. So we have launched 4 tiers for FlightNow Live. So the first one is FlightNow Live Lite. Now, FlightNow Live Lite is supported for the DJI drones, which are smaller drones like Mavic 2 series, Mini 2, SE, Air 2S, and 2S. These drones can be used with FlightNow Live Lite, and you can integrate them for the remote operation center. On the other hand, we are now introducing FlightNow Live Pro, which allows you to connect your M300 with the mobile SDK. You can also connect your older M210 V2, and soon Pro would be compatible with M30 as well, which is coming soon. Plus, on top of it, we have been working with a lot of customers on the true BVLOS drones, where we've been connecting those drones using onboard companion computer. So we're launching a third tier called FlightNow Live Advanced, which allows you to connect your Ardupilot, PX4, M300, and older M600 drones using onboard companion computer and do true beyond visual line of sight operations. These drones can be directly connected to the cloud using companion computer, and you can get all those functionalities right on the dashboard the way you use Mavic or M300 using the mobile SDK workflow. Plus, the enterprise plan is totally available for you to customize your dashboard, where you can come to us and tell us what are the additional add-ons that you need, and we can configure the dashboard for any drone that you want, as well as any integrations that you need with alarm, weather, or any AI detection software, which can be done as per your requirement in the enterprise version. So let's move further and take a look at more things in FlightNow Live. So our goal here is to help you set up the entire remote command center, where you can do the C4 operations. So when as a C4, it means you can command and control, but you can also communicate and compute information. So not only you can see the drone live video feed, you can command and control the drone, you would be able to communicate with your team members, you'd be able to annotate things on the map and share with everybody. You can also share live video feed with third party members. Plus, now you can also compute a lot of things, where you can leverage our APIs to get the live streaming data, as well as the data which is stored on your private server, to do AI analytics, or have integrations with third party software to do post processing in terms of photogrammetry or analysis for that particular data, using several tools which are available in the world. So this opens up for you to set up a command control center, where you can still use your existing software and integrate it FlightNow and set up the entire command and control center, as we saw in the last slide with multiple dashboards. Let's move to the next slide. So here are a few slides to help you understand how it works. So you could have a single command center, and you could have multiple pilots in various scenarios who are anyway flying the drones for you, but you want to share the live data with your team or your client or anybody. You can connect those drones with the mobile app to the cloud, and then you can manage them remotely from the command center. So be it like a security operations in warehouse, oil and gas, or emergency response, you'd be able to integrate that. Let's move to the next slide and look at more use cases. So here I'm showing you an entire use case where you can fly drones for air patrolling, you can do live surveillance, you can also have the enterprise version could have AI detection, and you can have a computer aided dispatch system integrated with your existing fleet of drones together. In the next slide, let's take a look at other scenarios. So this is where you can have multiple scenarios. You could have remote operator or multiple operators, as well as you can also connect multiple viewers. So for example, you could be deploying this on railway tracks, and you use it for emergency response or any kind of accident that could happen. You can share the live video feed immediately with nearest hospitals, ambulance, police departments, and you could all have those teams work together to solve that particular situation. So all those people who are included in the organization or have the access to the link can participate and have the live situation awareness. So the use cases are limitless. So we are seeing adoptions in crowd and event monitoring where you want to live stream the data. Emergency response or public safety have been already using drones, but now they can collaborate much better with different kind of drones. It doesn't need to be a one type of drone. You can combine and have a hybrid fleet management. You could do it security with this. You can have construction site monitoring. You can deploy it on mining site, as well as all the asset inspection where you're flying on the pipeline, railway tracks, solar farms, highways, etc. So wherever you need live situational awareness, FlightNow Live can actually help you straight away, and you can use your existing drones with FlightNow Live. So let's take a look at quick example, and I'll share some stories here. So how people are using it. So this is a quick command center established in India where there were about 40 drones which are deployed in multiple areas of the site, and there are operators which are flying it in the line of sight. But this is a single command center with multiple screens and multiple remote pilots where they were able to monitor those areas remotely. So they were able to see live video feed, share live video feed with local authorities, and report what is happening in that particular area. In next slide, let's take a look at what is happening in Norway. So this is construction site where they have set up their entire remote command center where drones are flying on the construction site, but somebody sitting at the back office can get the entire view of what is happening. They can actually zoom in into a particular area, see live video updates, as well as capture images, make an annotation on the map that this is something that needs to be reviewed further, and they can also get the detailed logs after the mission is done. This is the command center set up in Belgium where you can see that there is a FlightNow dashboard, but there are other dashboards which have been integrated where you can actually leverage APIs to integrate third-party software and manage that multiple sites. So this is a deployment at a port where you can actually see the movements or have security in that particular region. Now, let's move on, and I would like to pass it on to Vaishali, who would invite Neil and Vinayak to help us understand how we can set up the entire remote command center using FlightNow Live. What are the steps? And we're going to take a deep dive into the technical aspect of it so you can have a quick training of how you can get started with FlightNow Live. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Achal. I'm sure this gives our audience more clarity on the new pricing tiers of FlightNow. So I will now open up the stage for Neil, who's going to show us the steps of how to build the remote drone operations center. So Neil, take it away.
Hi, Vaishali, and thank you for the introduction. And hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Neil. Before we get started, I'd like to thank all of you for being a part of this session. So we at Flightbase personally believe that when it comes to drones and autonomy, seeing is believing. And this is where we'll be giving you a complete walkthrough of how the DJI M300 can be used for your drone applications using FlightNow. And in this session, we'll be showing you how to set up and manage your fleet of drones, configure repeatable autonomous missions, and run automated flights with your drone for your drone applications. I think it's time to get straight to ground zero and give you a walkthrough of the dashboard. And for simplicity, we have categorized this session into 4 parts. So that is the hardware and the software setup, followed by the pre-flight configurations, the in-flight modules that you have while you're in flight, and the post-flight modules. So these modules will basically help you set up and define FlightNow specific standard operating procedures, allowing you to suit your drone workflows for your business needs. Yeah. So when it comes to the setup, you basically need 3 components, that is the rugged and the sturdy DJI M300, any Android device or the DJI Smart RC of the M300 running the FlightNow mobile application, and a command center, which can be either a laptop or a desktop. Now, let me just show you a quick video on how to configure the FlightNow application with your DJI M300. All right, I think the video should be coming up any moment now. All right, so we are back up. We are back. So again, this is the M300 Smart RC. All you need to do is power it up, and once you power it up, you can go ahead and straight away launch the FlytNow mobile application. And again, we followed the DJI procedure. You power on the RC, followed by powering up the drone. You can see the H20, powering itself up. You now log into the FlytNow app. So again, log in with your email and your password. And once you do that, you will be redirected to the FlytNow mobile applications connection setup page. Over here, you can see some critical details like internet connectivity, drone connectivity, the model of the drone, and then again, what you would need to do, since you're setting it up for the first time, you need to register your drone. So you can go ahead and give a name to your drone that you would like to see it on the FlytNow dashboard. So we're just going to name it the Matrice M300, and I'm just going to click on register now. All right, so it says device registered successfully, and now I'm inside the cockpit view of the FlytNow mobile application. So you can see two feeds here, the main H20 feed followed by the FPV feed, critical telemetry details with respect to the drone. You also have other parameters such as maximum altitude, uh, options to calibrate a compass, more details about the vision sensors, the SD card. If you want to format the SD card, that is also something that FlytNow allows you to do. At the top right, you have the menu for the camera, so you can configure, the major settings for your camera. So let's say the color waveform, the video settings, so white balance, style, and the photo settings. So photo mode, the intervals that you want to click the photos, that's something that can be done from this app. And at the top, you can also see the battery details. So, both the batteries, you have the percentages, the cell values of each battery, the kind of signal strength that you're getting, whether RTK is enabled or disabled, and the current GPS satellite count that you're getting on the FlytNow mobile app as well. Now I'll just take you to the general settings. So this is again for more visibility, the app version, drone model, device name. You can disable and enable the map box. Again, so this is actually quite a good feature where we allow you to simulate flights where you do not need to, if are not going ahead and doing a live flight, you can just simulate to your specific latitude and longitude, and you can go ahead and get a first-hand experience of FlytNow. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was about the FlytNow mobile application. And going forward, I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the pre-flight modules that you need to configure in order to get started with your flights. All right, so you log into our production domain, which is app.flightnow.com. And when you come here, you are by default redirected to the home view of the FlytNow dashboard. So you can see that it's in its default map view, which happens to be the hybrid view. And over here, you can see, 4 major modules. So you have the fly tab, where you can see major details related to your drone. So all the telemetry details can be viewed here. You have the missions tab, where you can go ahead and plan your missions. So FlytNow offers you, a lot of flexibility when it comes to mission planning. So you can either plan a waypoint mission or let's say a grid mission as per your use case. You have a logs tab here, which gives you a high-level overview of the kind of missions that you've flown. So the approximate time, the distance that your drone flew, how many waypoints did it have, and then you also have the geofence tab. So now I'll show you quickly how you can go ahead and add your device. If you remember, earlier I had registered my drone on the FlytNow mobile application, and now I'm going to go ahead and add it to the FlytNow dashboard. So I'm just going to click on add device, And you can see that the drone is automatically listed here. So I will just click on it and I'll add it to the dashboard. All right, so the drone is live, and if you give it a moment, it will slowly come out live on the dashboard. So you can see the critical telemetry details. So the kind of GPS satellite counts, it has 17 right now, the current mode of the remote controller. And if you click on that small arrow, you again have critical telemetry details such as the battery percentage, the latency that you're receiving over the cloud, the altitude of the drone, distance from its home, vertical, horizontal speeds, the roll and pitch angles, which can actually be quite useful if you want more visibility of what's happening on your drone. So that's good to have during real-time flight operations. The time elapsed during the mission, the time remaining, the real-time latitude and longitude of the dashboard. And what you also have is the remote controller telemetry. So when you're flying, you need to know what kind of remote controller signals are you getting. So this tab gives you a high level overview of that, and it also gives you a high level overview of the remote controller's battery. So moving ahead, again, so at the right, you can see the drone's video feed. So this is the H20 camera that's connected to the DJI M300 right now. And you can see three tabs here, which is the wide, the zoom, and the thermal tabs. So when you click on thermal, you can change the various color palettes. So black, hot, iron red. Again, this would highly depend on the kind of missions that you're flying. So you'll be able to configure everything from here. You can also control the gimbal. So you can move it up, you can move it down. Giving users the kind of flexibility that they would require during missions. So that's something that can be done from the FlytNow dashboard. So again, like we support the zoom capability as well, and you also have the wide angle lens. At the top, you can see a small refresh button, so you can refresh the feed from there, just in case you don't have it at times. The current FPS, the resolution, it's 720p at the moment. And we also allow you to set your video feed. And again, this is the FlytNow dashboard's cockpit view. So at the center, you can see the feed from the 20 payload. And at the top left, you can see the first person view camera of the M300. At the right, you have the SD card option. You can see whether it's available, whether it's not available. You have options to start recording, capture images. Again, you can control your gimbals from the cockpit view and also control the zoom levels. So again, if you want to switch between the feeds, you can see and switch between the feeds. At the top, you can see the camera number as well. So whether it's camera 1, which happens to be the H20 camera, and if it's the camera 2, it will be the FPV camera. And here is a very interesting tool that we have on the FlytNow dashboard. So we call it the video streaming statistics widget. And this widget basically allows you to troubleshoot parameters related to your video feed. So, what kind of bit rates are you getting from the drone to our cloud services, and what is the kind of bit rate or the packet loss that we are receiving from the cloud to the FlytNow dashboard. So this will allow you to have, a high level visibility on whether, your network is all right, and what kind of networks you should have while you're running missions. And again, like I said, you have the option to optimize the video feed as well. So you can set it to motion. If you're tracking objects, you can set it to detail or high detail in case you want to, get that extra edge and have more details on the video feed or the subject that you're tracking. Again, you can capture videos, so you'll have poster messages when you do that, and you can archive videos as well. So again, giving users that flexibility to perform operations as per their needs. Okay, so now I'm going outside the cockpit view, and again, so I'll give you a quick overview of what all options we have here. So at the top, we have the notification center. So all the notifications that everything, every action that the user performed is tracked here, and you will be able to see every notification. So if you want to go back and see, like, what happened during my previous flight, you'll have full visibility. So again, this is like a good to have just for more visibility. You also have the FlytNow gallery, the settings. So this is the main settings page where, again, this is something that we recommend you to do before your flights. Ensure that your settings are properly configured, and this is quite a major aspect for the pre-flight modules as well. I'll begin with fail safes. So again, FlytNow, make sure that your drones are highly reliable and they have multiple redundancies. So we have different fail-safe events, triggers, and actions. So let's say you're on a flight and you've configured the low battery fail-safe to 20%, and the drone reaches that 20% mark. What do you want the drone to do then? You can't let it hover in air for a long time. You want it to return to home so that it can come back to its operator, and the operator can do a hot swap of the battery so that the drone is up in the air within no time. So again, you can configure fail safes for critical battery, drone LTE link loss, remote controller link loss, enable and disable collision avoidance. Again, this is highly useful if you're flying in built up areas. Speaker, if your drone supports one, the M300 off the shelf does not. You also have the media location. So we give users the flexibility to select their media location, and you have three options. You can either set it to cloud, you can either set it to SD card or SD card and cloud. And what we recommend is to set the video recording to SD cards, because this is where you can actually record high resolution videos, which you can later go ahead and share with multiple stakeholders. So again, you have the flexibility to decide the formats. If you want to format your SD card, you don't have to put it take it out of the H20. You can do it directly from the FlytNow dashboard. Again, the idea here is to make you totally remote. You also have the custom checklists and the key bindings. So we give users the flexibility to fly the drone either using their keyboard and mouse or using the Xbox joystick simulator. So you can go ahead and do that. You can connect it with your remote command and control center. And FlytNow has been optimized and for the Xbox joystick. So all your controls can be mapped here, and you can basically go ahead and test them, simulate them before you go ahead for any live flights. And again, before every flight, we like to ensure that you are up to date with the latest releases of FlytNow. So we like to make sure that you're on the latest application, and for that you can click on the What's New widget and go ahead and see our detailed change logs, which gives you more visibility on what we are up to and how we plan to go ahead in the future. All right, so now I'll go ahead and plan a mission for you. So again, like I said, we give you the option to plan a waypoint mission or a grid mission. So again, this would depend on your use case and your specific needs. So you can either create a mission, or you can directly import a KML file from, let's say, third-party applications such as Google Earth. So for today's mission, I'm going to plan a grid right over our office, that is the FlightBase headquarters. And I'm going to just create one here. So once you click on create, all you have to do is click on the map, and you'll be able to drop the grid right over your desired location. And then you can again configure your mission as per your area of flight. So just drag on these vertices to make sure that your grid is right above your area. And then again, you can go ahead and configure your mission speed, the mission start speed. So the start speed indicates the speed at which the drone will take off, and then it will proceed to the start location. I believe you can see it on the map as well. It's marked by a small S. So again, you can go ahead and configure this, and you can also specify the mission altitude. So somewhere around 50 to 100 meters is that we can recommend for you to fly. And you also have the finish action. So the finish action defines what kind of operations your drone will do once it has completed the mission. So for this mission, I wanted to come back to its home location. So the finish action is going to be returned to home. All right, and you go ahead with the grid layout, and I want to make sure that when I do this mission, I have a couple of grid actions that I specify. So I want to make sure that my H20 camera is configured at the right angle so that I can go ahead and record videos. And for this, I'm going to set it at minus 45 degrees. And then I want the drone to start video recording when it reaches the start point. I can again specify the grid spacing. So again, this is configurable. It would totally depend on your flight operations and your needs. And you can also specify the grid angle as well. So the grid angle also allows you to move the start point a little closer to your home point. So if that's something that you want, you can set the grid angle accordingly. And then finally, I am just going to name my mission. Once I do that, I can go ahead and create the mission. A small confirmation, and then, all right, you've created your first mission, and you can see the mission details at the left as well. So the ETA is going to take the drone about a minute to complete this mission. The total distance, the number of waypoints, and the finish action, which, if you remember, has been set to return to home. And again, so now I'm going to walk you through one of the most critical features that any remote operator would want for their drone. So this is the geofence module, where you can actually set a virtual boundary for your drone in case you're flying in built up areas or somewhere near restricted areas. I want to make sure that my drone stays inside the specified virtual boundary. So I'm just going to click on that edit button. I'm going to enable the geofence state. So the geofence is drone dependent. I can set the failsafe action. So in case the drone breaches the geofence, what do I want the drone to do? So I can go ahead and make sure that it comes back to its home location. We also have the option to either mark a polygon or a circular geofence. So again, highly dependent on your user needs. And for this mission, I'm going to mark a polygonal geofence. All right, so just a right click on the map and you can see that the geofence has been marked. I'll just drag it and make sure that my mission is well within the set geofence. And again, if I want to make it a little configurable, I can just drag these vertices and make sure that my geofence is configured as per my needs. And you also at the left, if you see, you also have the option to set the maximum allowed limit for the geofence breach. Just make sure that it's in sync with the maximum altitude that you've set for your drone from the FlytNow mobile application. And then if you click on done, so you'll have the geofence set for this particular drone and for this particular mission as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I just walked you through the entire hardware and the software setup, and I gave you a walkthrough of how you can configure your pre-flight modules. I will now hand it over to Vinayak, who will walk you through how you can. He'll walk you through the in-flight modules, and he'll basically throw some more light on the post-flight modules as well. So with that, I hand it over to you, Vinayak.
Thanks a lot, Neil. Hello, everyone. So I believe Neil has already discussed about what is included in pre-flight and what needs to be configured during that. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comment section. I believe Neil and the team will be happy to answer those, right? I'll be covering the in-flight and the post-flight sections where whatever Neil has just configured, right, will be like executing those missions and collecting the data, right? I'll just move ahead with the small video.
The video is back, so let me just quickly add it on and let Vinayak take it over. So over to you, Vinayak.
Thanks a lot, Vishali. So as you can see on the screen, we just clicked on the launch button and selected the mission, and we just follow the checklist whatever we I believe Neil has configured during the pre flight checklist, and we'll check all those things, even the fail safes, link loss and finish action which has been configured as RTH. Now we click on next, and as soon as we click on execute, the drone will take off and the mission will be executed based on the path was put as a basically kind of configured before the flight. As you can see on the on your screen, the yes, as you can see on the screen, the on the left side the live telemetry of the drone, and on the right side the video feed right. So as soon as you click on that video feed, you can see the cockpit view, and with the cockpit you can just enlarge the video feed and kind of you will get an overall view of this video screen, right? And this will help during an inspections and all. Sorry. Yeah. So you can see the drone has completed the mission and has triggered the RTH after the completion of flight. And now, as soon as the drone reaches the home point, it will try to land the mission. Sorry, the drone. Yes. Now you can see the drone is drone is landing. Yes, the drone has landed. Now we can see the post-flight data. We'll be shifting to the post-flight video. Okay, guys, you can see the video where I just clicked on the logs tab, and you can see the logs of the previous flights as well as the manual flight that we have done in past. And you can also see the flight path and in the log section. Now I just clicked on the galleries where I clicked the videos during the mission flight, and you can view, preview and download the video files also. So now whatever the video feeds is being downloaded on the SD card, right? Now you can click on the cloud sync button to basically sync the videos from your SD card to your edge device, and simultaneously the drone will download the video feeds to your S3 cloud, right? As soon as you download, oh, okay, I think the video feed is coming. Okay, right. So as soon as the video gets downloaded, you can. Okay. So right, you can see on the screen, the video feed is getting downloaded to the edge device, which is nothing but your Android device, and simultaneously getting uploaded to the cloud. Once the video feeds are uploaded to the cloud, you can actually view and download them. I'll just wait for the videos to be downloaded. Right, you can also view the amount of the data has been downloaded, and also see the number of files getting downloaded on your S3 bucket. Yes. So as soon as it's done, you can view the video feed in the gallery tab. Yes. So now what I'll do, I'll just click on the preview button to basically view the HD quality video feeds that I have captured on the local SD card, right? Isn't that amazing? Right. So, and now I'll also preview a kind of a video downloaded during the mission, right? So I'll just hit play, and here is the video. Nice and clean. Right. So in this gallery tab, you can actually manage your videos and video files and images. There is an option also to download the video files on your local computer or PC, right? So here is how we can download or collect the post flight data. at the end using the gallery and cloud sync medium. Thank you so much, guys. Over to you, Beshali.
I will take a first question. I'll redirect this to Vinayak. So Vinayak or maybe Achal, what if there is no internet or there's poor internet? Can FlytNow still work? Could you maybe give an answer to that? Yeah.
Sure, let me take that. So, of course, the solution has been designed for remote operation. So, you can have drones anywhere in the world or your country and you can manage it remotely. Now, that requires internet and you cannot use it without it. However, if you have a deployment where you are doing, say, security, where you're not looking to stream live video feed outside your campus and you have all your members, etc., on the intranet, in the enterprise version, we do provide a local system where we can help you set it up on your private server. So the standard offering is for requires internet, but if you are looking to just use it on a private server, talk to us and we'd be happy to help you.
Okay. Thank you, Achal. I think I'll shoot a question to Neil, which is also coming from the audience. That is, what are the different types of missions that FlytNow support?
All right. Okay. So again, like I said, FlytNow is quite modular and it gives users the flexibility to define the type of missions that they want to configure for their specific use case. So you have path missions. So these can be basic linear waypoint missions that you want to configure, for different use cases. You also have grid missions. So you can configure these grid missions. Again, if you want to inspect over a particular area, and you want to have dedicated actions that you want to perform with your drone, so you can set up a grid, the spacing between the grids, the grid angles, so that is something that can be done. And what FlytNow also supports are corridor missions. So if you have like specific corridors that you want to fly over and you do not want to deviate from the right of way, so that is also something that can be done. And again, two options here. You have the ability to either create these missions, basically mark them on the map manually, or you can directly import them using any third-party applications like Google Earth or some other applications. So yes, these are the type of missions that you can configure using the FlytNow web app.
So thank you all for spending this time. See you again next session. Have a great day out there.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.